somewhere the spiritual quotient. People initially talked of IQ. If you remember, if I take you to the
Yes.
industrial era, then if you come to
Yes.
the era current, about let's say 5-7 years back till then, you spoke of EQ. The leader, you should have very good EQ. But now spiritual quotient is something which is coming up as discussions. It has not become
Yes.
a compelling talk in those jargons that have you ticked on the IQ,
Correct.
EQ as when looking at a leader who should become
Yes.
the next leader. No, people still talk about EQ over IQ now, but SQ nobody's talking about. No, but murmurs are happening, and this is
Mhm.
somewhere again I wanted your insight because I'm strongly thinking that if a
Yeah.
leader doesn't have spiritual quotient, he cannot, to
Mhm.
your point, keep his people.
Correct.
No, as rightly
Yes.
said satisfied, no? And if they're not satisfied and they're not happy, they can't keep customers satisfied and happy. Take it from me, well, I've seen this over time.
Absolutely.
That
Absolutely.
person cannot make somebody else happy. And even if he tries to, it is going to be a
Yes.
huge effort which will not be fulfilling in its own way. So on
Correct.
this, what is your take? Well, how do we look at this spiritual quotient? How do we
Yes.
try and develop more and more of this? At least for people who are close to be. Can I see that? How can I work on this? Because I
Mm.
strongly feel now that
Mhm.
in the order, like somebody who has very high SQ would actually do better than
Mhm.
somebody who has very high EQ, and who will do better than somebody who's got a very high IQ. That's my thinking. I may be wrong. So that is how it's developing in me. And since you alluded on that while you were answering the previous question, I think this automatically comes from
Yes.
there. How do we look into
Yes.
that? How do we build into that? No.
Sure. Thank you very much for that question again. It's again on the point because when we look at IQ and EQ, it's been in the talk and people have been speaking about it. A lot of elements have been incorporated in the corporate world to see how we can provide these dimensions to our people in the company. But when it comes to SQ, I think, like you rightly said, it's spoken of, but there's no concrete work that has been done in terms of making or including elements of SQ at the workplace. I'm not saying it's everywhere, but by and large, it's not included. Like when I was in San Francisco, I went to give a talk at Salesforce, and at Salesforce, Mark Benioff, he has made it a priority to have SQ elements included at the workplace. So every floor of their office is a mindfulness space where people can go and meditate and practice mindfulness. A choice, not that it's compulsory. They have a choice, but there's a space, exclusive space dedicated on every floor of the workplace. They have an event every year called Dreamforce. Salesforce runs an event called Dreamforce, a 5 days event in San Francisco, and practically the whole of SFO is shut down. And I think at least a good 100,000 to 200,000 top leaders of the country come and attend this event. And one of the days of the Dreamforce event is dedicated to spirituality and mindfulness. So I see there are people in the industry who are kind of prioritizing SQ, but the question obviously is why? Why is SQ so important? Isn't it? I think any person who's working for an organization is always thinking of what's in it for me. Correct. Nobody's coming here to give their selfless voluntary service. Correct. If the company is making money, why would I go and do voluntary service? If it's a non-profit, I'd probably volunteer to serve. If the company is making huge chunks of profit, why the bloody hell would I go and work for free? Right. So everybody's thinking, what's in it for me? So everybody's looking for a raise in their salary, looking for perks, looking for promotion. Correct. Now, which is precisely why when we bring up the concept of SQ, we need to also emphasize that SQ is not simply essential so that we have enhanced productivity or efficiency or effectiveness at work, but SQ is something that if we incorporate in our life, is going to help us in every aspect of our life. It percolates into your personal relationships, into your personal discipline, into your interpersonal dealings, into your work. Obviously, it comes very handy in every aspect of life. How does it come handy? If it's going to be helpful in every area of our life, how is it going to be helpful in every area of our life? Number one of the most important aspects of clarity in thinking, clarity in decision making, is a decluttered mental space. When the mind is cluttered, your decision-making abilities and your thinking with clarity is jeopardized. So one needs to have a mental space which is decluttered. Now, what do you do to declutter your mental space? Do you have a pill which can help you declutter your mental space? Do you have a machine which can help you declutter your mental space? Which is precisely why I'm sure a lot of millennial professionals are attending this session today. I suppose so, and apps like Headspace, apps like Calm have come to the forefront a lot today. Apps which teach meditation, and a huge number of youngsters subscribe to these apps and try to practice meditation or unwinding, mindfulness, whatever the word may be. What is it? What are these words referring to? To enhance your spiritual quotient, your SQ. And a high SQ means a low cluttered mental space. That's what it is. So if it's making a decision about your family life, what should your child be studying? Should you continue in this marriage or not? Should you be bringing your parents home or not? Because your wife's living with you, or you're living in the US, someone's living in your parents are in India. Should I be coming back? Should I be getting that? You need so much clarity to think with, and I think high SQ gives you that clarity because your mind is decluttered. I think one of the most expensive real estates that exists in the world is your mental space. There's nothing more expensive and valuable than this here, right? And you don't allow any Tom, Dick, and Harry to come into your house for free, do you? Do you allow your neighbor to put trash into your home? No. But there's so much trash we allow so many people around us and situations around to load in our head. And with that trash, how are you going to find out what you were looking for in your home when there's kachra all over the place? So high SQ means less kachra, less clutter, right? That's number one. Now, number two, as soon as you talk about less clutter, that means more focus. What is stopping me from focusing? The clutter. My mind's going all over the place. So the clutter, everything that's in and around there. So as soon as there's less clutter, means more focus. So even if you're talking about it from the point of view of organizational productivity and efficiency, SQ means more focus. What is meditation? Meditation means to bring your distracted mind to focus at a point. Now, that's precisely what's happening. If you look at studies from Harvard and Yale, and you will see organizational behavior is being studied and researched, especially at Harvard. And if you study these papers, you will see what distraction at the workplace costs organizations today. If the same employee, if the same person were to be focused, how that efficiency and productivity would have gone up, and what would it convert into in terms of profits? So that's number two. When you have a decluttered mind, you have clarity in decision making, and the obvious result of it is focus. When you're looking at SQ, the third obvious advantage of SQ is bringing in a very strong sense of purpose. In his book, The Culture Code, and also in the book Drive, Culture Codes by Daniel Coyle and Drives by Daniel Pink. Both are about organizations, and I love reading these books. In both of these books, by Daniel Coyle and Daniel Pink, one key element to keep people at the workplace happy is not simply financial rewards. That's one aspect to it. Is a strong sense of purpose. To be able to do what you do to serve a much larger picture than our own selves. And individuals, I can't do it by my own. So when I'm connected to an organization which is doing it, I feel that sense of purpose. So when we're talking about a high SQ, we are talking about aligning ourselves with that sense of purpose. And then the fourth obvious advantage of a high SQ is that sense of santosha, satisfaction that I was talking about, where your self-expression is to its fullest. When you have reached the stage where you care more about a cause than about an applause, where you care more about expressing yourself than about impressing someone, is when you are really, really satisfied. And excellence is a consequence. Productivity is a consequence. Efficiency is a consequence. Effectiveness is a consequence. So SQ gives all of these. And when we have these at our workplace, they come in every other area of life as well. So I think, yeah, SQ is an absolute must, I feel.
Phenomenal, Swami. I think, no, if somebody had to translate or bring Bhagavad Gita to the current times and redefine what Sri Krishna mentioned, I think these would be the words, the way you put it. I think, which is
contemporary jargon.
I also had the honor of visiting Salesforce and meeting Mark. And one thing which comes there when you're mentioning about that story, it comes to your mind if I look at some of the great leaders that were there in the corporate world, no? Right from Steve or Mark, they all had some link to spiritualism, some link to India in its own way. And there's quite some time here. And if I look at, again, if I look at the history of some good leaders, I see them initially to be in terms of very aggressive in terms of the materialism part, but as they move forward, I think the SQ is very high. No, so to your point, look at some successful businesses, look at some successful leaders. Something clearly comes out in all of them to the point that you just mentioned. They all have very high SQ. No, I think that's a takeaway for me. And this story and the way you put it also really helps us understand very well